Yeah, it sounds like through what you're talking about with your story with Vince that you had a pretty great relationship with Vince throughout your run in WWF/WWE.
Yeah.
Was that something that continued on afterwards, or when you left in 06, did that kind of burn a bridge for a little while?
Oh, it definitely burned a bridge. Vince and I were really close. It was the last year and a half. I got out of control. I was doing a lot of painkillers, and I was getting injured quite a bit, and I was wrestling full time, and it was really getting to me. I mean, I was tearing my hamstring, then my groin, then my abdominal muscle, and
wow,
it just my knee, then my shoulder, my back, my neck, and it just got to be too much. And the painkillers, I was taking up to 65 extra strength Vicodin a day. And,
I've heard that story, and that's just crazy.
Pounding them, 18 at a time, and chewing them in my mouth and swallowing them.
Wow.
So I was a wreck. Vince didn't know this, and back then they didn't have that drug policy. So they, up until 05, 06, they started drug testing, but before that, you could do whatever you wanted. So, although I was really screwed up physically, mentally, psychologically, and I had to leave. And when I did, Vince and I never spoke again until I came back 2 years ago.
That moment that's captured on camera?
Yeah.
Wow.
I talked to Hunter, Triple H,
yeah,
for a couple months, but never Vince. And the first time we saw each other, and we hugged each other, and I apologized to him for the things I did and said, and he said, "Don't worry about it. We're back. We're back to normal." And so, Vince has always been a father figure to me. I never wanted to intentionally hurt him.
Yeah.
But I remember. I'll give you a quick story.
Yes, please.
I decided I wanted to quit. And my manager and I, we went to the headquarters.
This is in 06?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. What happened was I injured myself real badly, my hamstring and groin. There was blood all over across my genitals, my hamstring, both legs, running down both legs on the inside, like a bruising.
Wow.
It was really bad.
Yeah.
And I showed it to Vince when we had a meeting, and I said, we need to talk, Vince, because I'm not doing really well. And so he pulls out about 5 typed pages of text messages and phone call messages I left him. And I'm reading, I'm like, it says, "Vince, I'm going to beat the shit out of you when I see you. Vince, better answer the call or I'm going to kick your ass," and really, really crazy stuff.
Wow, and you don't remember
and
sending
I was
it?
like, no, I was at the point at the time, unfortunately, I was taking painkillers and I was taking somas, and every once in a while I would black out, and here I am texting Vince, and so he showed me all these. I'm like, oh my God, I actually said this stuff, and he stood up. And he took his jacket off. He says, "You want to kick my ass? Let's go right now."
Wow.
And I looked at him. I'm like, oh, my God, I can't believe Vince McMahon wants to beat my ass. This guy's been my father figure for 7 years, and I have too much respect for him to stand up. And but he wanted to go. He wanted to go. And I left the room, and I came back, and I just broke down. And I said, "Vince, I can't do this anymore. I need you to release me." And he did. And sometimes I look back and I wish he didn't, but it had to be done for me to save my life. And I know I wasn't representing WWE the way Vince needed me to. In other words, he's a publicly traded company.
Sure.
He has a liability on his hands with the broken neck, the painkillers, and whatever else. So it was time for me to leave, at least for momentarily.
But he wanted to release you and then have you go into rehab, right?
Yeah, a year prior, he wanted me to go to rehab. And no, I'm sorry. Yeah, in 2006, you're right, when I quit, or when I asked for a release, Vince wanted me to go to rehab. You're exactly right. And he said, "I want you to go for a couple months and come back in 6 months, and we'll start your contract back up."
Yeah.
And so I said no, and I didn't want to do that. And so I decided I'm going to leave and I'm going to go to TNA. So I had the option: go to WWE, stay in WWE, and go to rehab, or leave and go to TNA. And I don't regret it. I loved my career in TNA. I loved Dixie Carter. She was incredibly good to me. But you know, what sucks is my best phase of my career was in TNA. As good as I was in WWE, and I was the best there.
Yeah.
I got better in TNA, and unfortunately, the WWE universe will never see those matches.